Hey everybody, good evening. It's Alison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Alison. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada. So welcome. I'm on for my bonus live tonight because I traditionally am on Wednesdays at 3 and Sundays at 10 a.m., all Pacific time. But at the beginning of every month, I'm on the first and second Thursday, also at 5 o'clock. And this is the live that I focus on some of our upcoming classes. Hi, Keisha. Hi, Trisha. Nice to see you guys. So I'm going to make sure that I'm broadcasting live to all of you. I know I am, but what I mean is I want to make sure that I can see your comments on my other screens when I move over to do my work. And I'm assuming you can hear me, because if you couldn't, you would tell me, because you're good at that. Okay. Who else have we got? See, some of the screens will show me who I've got and some won't. So I've got Mary. Hi, Mary. So I've got Keisha and Trisha and Mary. Welcome, you guys. Gee, can you guess what I'm going to work on today? I'm going to work on the storybook gnomes with the Kindest Gnomes Bundle. Hi, Ellie. Oh gosh, thanks you guys. Hi Donna, lots of people popping in. This is great. You guys are actually, hi Mo, you guys are actually a lot faster. Thursdays seem to be a good time. Okay, so what I wanted to say before we get started was that hopefully, as you know, Ange McKay and I are offering 3 classes on the weekend of July 23rd and 24th. On the July 23rd, we're focusing on Sweetest Christmas Suite. That's hard to say. Sweetest Christmas Suite from the mini catalog. And then on Sunday, we have 2 add-on classes. One is featuring the Christmas Scotty bundle, which is the cute little Scotty dogs. And the other is the Kindest Gnomes Bundle, which are the gnomes. So there's different ways that you can participate. You can take all 3 classes. If you take the catalog launch party, then the add-on classes are less money. They're basically the cost of the stamp set, because we include the stamp set in those ones. So it's like getting the class for free. But you can also participate by just purchasing one or both of the add-on classes. And then they're just a little bit more because you haven't added it on. You're taking it as a standalone. Now, if you don't live in Canada, there's a third option. You can actually purchase 1, 2, or 3 of the PDFs. So if you just want the Sweetest Christmas, it's $18. It's 6 cards. And you can still come to our online party. You can still watch us make the cards. Of course, we can't send you the kit because you have to live in Canada for that. So the first PDF is 18. And if you want to add on one of the classes, then it's 30 for both of them. If you want to add on all 3 as a PDF, as a non-Canadian, it's 40. So there's different ways that you can participate. Okay, so let's get started. Hi, Diane. Let's get started by going over to my workspace here. Here we go. All right. So if you've got your catalog, it's on page 42. How cute are these? And of course, here's the products that make up that suite. We've got the stamps and the dies. And we've got the ribbon. I used it on one of our cards earlier this month. It's balmy blue and white. It's 3/8 of an inch thick, and it's double stitched. And then we've got the fine sparkle adhesive back gems. Then we've got the snowfall puff paint. I'm going to show you that today. You apply it and then you heat it with a heat gun. Then we've got the gorgeous designer series paper. Okay, so let me show you a few of those products up close and personal. Here's the DSP. Look how cute this is. We've got printed sides here that are a little busier. Here we go. There we go. And then on the other side, we've got, well, actually, I guess this one could go on that side. The cutouts. Let me turn that over. So these can be cut out with the die that's from dies that are from the gnome dies, I think they're called. Yeah. So there's a die for each type of gnome. Okay. And then we've also got these mushrooms, toadstools. There is a die to cut those out. And then we've got this really pretty sheet of little deer and fox, bunny, birds. There is no die, but they're quite easy to cut out because the lines are quite easy to cut out. It's not that intricate. So you can do that by a fussy cut. Okay, so that's what we're going to be playing with today. All right, let's get started. I think that's all I wanted to tell you before we got going here. I'm starting with a piece of Calypso Coral, which is not a color that I use very often, but it is a pretty color, and it actually features quite prominently in the DSP. Okay, just making sure nobody's got any questions. Nope, we're good. So it's just the 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then we've got our card front. Now I'm going to turn it over because what I did was I took this brand new embossing folder, Whimsical Woodland 3D embossing folder, which I love. Have you guys got this one? It's so neat. Look at it. Isn't that cool? Reminds me kind of the Grinch, but it's perfect for the gnomes. And so what I did was I took my card and I ran it through this with this embossing folder. Okay. Now I did it off camera before I came on, only because I have to use the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, just because of the width of the embossing folder. So I've gone ahead and done that, and I know you know how to do it, so you don't really need to see me do that. So here we go, and I'm actually going to be using my card in a landscape rather than a portrait view. Okay, so hopefully you can see all that really cool embossed. Because it's 3D, it's really great to see. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do is I took a piece of crumb cake, and let me see what size. I think this is 5.5 by 4 1/4. So I took a piece of crumb cake, and then I took the Timber 3D embossing folder, and I did the exact same thing. I went off camera there and ran that through. Okay, so that's already embossed because I know you know how to do that, and it's not that complicated. Okay. All right. Have you guys seen this new set of dies? Came out in the new annual catalog called Deckled rectangle dies. Okay, so here's what they look like. So they're rectangular shape and they go down in sizes, but they have this little kind of wavy deckled edge, which is kind of cool. And I pulled out 2 of them. So I pulled out the second largest one. Okay, and then I pulled out what would be not the next one, but the one after that. So starting from the largest, second largest, and fourth largest. Okay. And I just laid them in like that. And I ran it through. Again, I had to use the larger die cut machine, so I went ahead and did that. And this is what I ended up with. Okay. So it's just cutting out a frame because I got a little woodland scene I want to make. Okay, so that's what I did ahead of time. Everything else I'm going to do more or less with you guys. And I chose the woodland one because I thought this looked like a really neat wooden frame. You know, that might be very rustic. Perfect for our little scene. I took a piece of the designer series paper and I cut it to 4 1/4 by 3. Okay. And I want to glue this to the front of my card in the center here. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and use my white glue. The folder is on your... Keisha, you're like me. Every time you see something, you're like me, and I go, that's on my order for next time too. Yeah. It really is a fabulous embossing folder. And I think you're taking the... gnome class, I think, right, Keisha? So one of the cards, I think it's 1 or 2 of the cards that I designed for that are using that has that die on it. So it's kind of an embossing folder. So that's kind of cool. Okay, I'm going to look at my sample here and see what I'm doing next. So I wanted to create a little, like a picture that was in a frame. And I went ahead, and on that designer series paper, there are so many things that you can cut out. So I went ahead and cut out 3 of these let me get the paper to show you. See this? These little trees. I cut out 3 of them. Just fussy cut them. Okay. Just gonna get gunk on my fingers. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue them down onto my little picture here. This is just like a little woodland scene. So I've got that one. Yes, we think, and you know what? Keisha's just saying thank you for doing classes as add-ons, because in the past you have to be part of the launch to take the classes. And it was you and someone else asking at one of my very first Facebook Lives featuring the products that got us talking about that. So thank you for that, Keisha, because you kind of got our minds thinking, yeah, we should offer it. Hi, Valerie. Nice to see you here. So that's those 3. Now let's do some cutting. Here's a toadstool or a mushroom. Toadstool? What's the difference between a toadstool and a mushroom? Somebody will know. I need to look these things up before I come on camera. Okay, so the great thing about these, or someone will look it up now for us. The great thing about these is that the die cuts it out, which is really sweet. Love this. Isn't that great? And the sheet, the DSP sheet, oh my gosh, I think it's got over 20 in one sheet. So that makes like 40 of the whole pack. Let me just see here. Show ya. Look at this. Get blue ones and Calypso coral ones and brown ones. So cute. Love it. Here we go. So that's our little mushroom toadstool. Okay. And Allison, there it is. I was going to say, where's my magnet so I don't lose something? Okay, now I want to cut out one of my gnomes. I only need one. I think I'm going to go with, and I'm not even sure I'm going to use the gnomes, but I'm going to cut one out anyway just to show you. I think I'm going to go with this one because she's got like a hat that's that Calypso color. I just have to find the right, because there's 4 different gnomes you can cut out with this set. I think that's the one I want. Yeah, it's the one that I want. What's that song from Greece? Okay, remember we're going to use our platform number 3 goes down first, and then our clear plate number 2. Should have said that. I like to say it every time. Somebody on my team was having a lot of problems cutting with her little Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Sometimes it would go through and sometimes it wouldn't. And it was getting her very frustrated. And as soon as we told her, oh yeah, substitute number 3 plate on the bottom instead of the white number 1, it's just like magic, you guys. It really is. Okay. There we go. I think that's all the die cutting I need to do today. So here she is. Isn't she cute? Oh my gosh, she's so cute. So put all that aside, give myself some room here. I get a little crowded. All right, next up, I went ahead and cut out some other things that I may or may not use. Okay, I've got the little deer. Cute. That's also from the Designer Series paper. Now, I had to cut this out fussy cut, but it's not hard. It's not a hard one to do. And either is the little fox, or there's this one fox that's standing up. These aren't hard to do. I've even got a little bird here. Cute. Isn't that cute? And a moose. What else? Oh, mushroom. So lots of different things. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use yet. Let's just go back and see what we want to add here. So I think I want to add a mushroom. Okay. And then I also want a fox. So I think I'll do the fox. Just laying these down to see what I want. I think we need something big. So we either need her or we need the deer. I'm not sure which one we want. Which one do we want? We want to, here's what it's going to look like. I got to bring in my frame. So we're going to have a frame. Some of these are going to be outside the frame, right? They're going to be like this. So do we want a deer or do we want a gnome? What do we want? You guys get to vote. Gnome or deer? What do we got? Gnome. Gnome, like the gnome girl. Trisha likes the gnome girl. I think she's got a little bit more color, doesn't she? So it kind of looks nice. So while the rest of you are thinking, I'm going to put her aside for a sec, and then we're going to build this up. So I think somebody wants the deer, somebody wants the gnome. You got time to vote because I'm going to be popping this frame up. So you guys keep thinking. We got one deer and one gnome. Keep the votes coming. I need my scissors. Got 2 gnomes and 1 deer. Just enter it in the comments. Hi, Janet. We're voting whether I should use a gnome or a deer. For those of you that just arrived, we've got our little gnome or we've got a deer. So we're just trying to decide what we're going to use. Looks like the gnome is winning. Yeah, gnome's winning. Okay. Sorry, dear. You have been usurped by the gnome. She is sweet, though. Okay. Now, I just want to make sure that I can put my elements in. I think I can. You know what? Let's just go for it. But before I do, I want to do one more thing, actually. Remember I was telling you earlier I was going to use my puff paint? So here it is. It comes like this. I don't know what this caution is. That looks frightening, doesn't it? Warning, shake well before using. Apply in a thin line. Then heat with a heat tool to puff the paint. I don't know why it needed a big warning sign. It's not like it's nuclear. You know, gosh, it seems a little overkill. Okay, I thought maybe it would say don't eat, which my husband always says, whenever you see those things on TV, like, you know, don't do this at home. He says, you can always tell when the lawyers are involved. It's like that meme. Oh gosh, what's that meme where they've got the coyote, you know, where it's like in our age, we knew that coyote would get, the anvil would fall on the coyote and we wouldn't do it at home. So this, I found, you guys, using a little bit and using my heat tool, it does take a little bit of time to puff. So wait a minute, I'm going to actually turn that off for a second. I'm going to hold that up so you can see. Woo! Get in camera. Can you see? It's just like a liquid. Okay. And then we're going to puff it up. Luckily, our heat guns aren't as hot as they used to be. They're hot enough to do the job, but they're not like those paint strippers that we used to use. Oh my gosh, they were so hot. Oh, fingers. So I don't know if you can see. I'll show you when I'm done. It does take a little bit of time. There we go. Now, I'm not going to touch it because I don't want to, you know, hit it. But can you see that it's all puffy now? So that's kind of cute. Okay, now we can keep going with our little frame. Okay. Here, ooh, here we go. Okay. To get these long bits, I just cut off the edges. You could also use that tape that I used yesterday. Remember when we made our shaker card yesterday? And I used the foam adhesive strips. They work too. So there we go. So now I just want to, so I've got a raised little frame now, okay, that we're going to add our the bits to. Now we want our toadstool, but I'm going to pop this up. So I got to do a little bit of concentrating here because the bottom is going to need to be as high as the frame, but the rest of it, oh yeah, maybe over here, need to pop up there. I think that'll work. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. So I just add a bit of glue there so that when I pop it in here, it's going to be raised up. Okay. Oh, it's a little crooked. It's like magic mushrooms. Oh dear. Okay, what's she been doing? Okay, then we've got our little fox, which is so cute. Look at that little fox. Isn't he cute? Put that down. Okay. Fox is so cute. And then we've got her that we all voted on. And I'm going to just put her, we're covering up a bit of that tree, but that's okay. Such is life. I think I want that just to pop up there. I could move it over here, but then we've got this weird look here. So what else could I put there? Let me think. No, that looks kind of out of place. Guess I could have another little, nah. See, sometimes you just have to know when to stop. Know when to stop. That could be, I'm going to do that. Should have thought it out a bit more, but that's okay. That's why we do things as on the go, right? Okay, that's better. And then we've got her. She's just going to be kind of like that. Yeah, I think that looks good. Put some glue on her shoes. See, this part that's actually going to be in the frame, I want to pop it up because it has to be the same height as my little frame. All right. Okay, that's what we've got so far. It's kind of cute. And these are all die cut pieces, which makes it even funner. Is there such a word as funner? Let's get some words. I'm going to use Poppy Parade. It's one of the featured colors in the designer series paper. Embossing Buddy, which is part of our fabulous embossing kit, right? So let me just attach my tweezers, and then it also comes with this brush that you can brush off excess stuff. So let's stamp the words Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And then I'm going to bring this in, I'm going to add some white embossing powder. That looks good. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Put that aside. I love having the little powder pal because your stuff, you don't really have as much of a risk of things going flying. Okay, pick that up. Okay. I'll let that cool for just a second. Okay, I'm just going to cut this out like a fussy cut because I only want the word Merry Christmas. Well, I think I only want the word Merry Christmas. In fact, I do want the word Merry Christmas. Go. Merry Christmas. Okay. So I'm not worrying about how straight this is. In fact, you don't want to try and make it too straight because then it will, if you don't get it straight, it'll look like wonky. Whereas if you're not trying to get it straight, it looks like you did it on purpose, which I kind of did. Okay, so let's put Merry Christmas here. I'm going to use those little tinier mini pop-ups. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, let's put that just like so. And actually on this end, remember what we always say, that if you've got something already popped up, so this mushroom's popped up, we don't necessarily, if we want a double pop up, we have to actually put a double decker pop dot, but we don't need to because I'm gonna pop it over here. And actually that filled in quite nicely, didn't it? I was worried about that open space, but it actually worked out quite well. So that's our little card, but we can always add, because Diane is here, let's add some Wink of Stella. Let's put some Wink of Stella on the braid here. If you don't want to use the designer series paper, of course you can stamp, color, and cut it out. Same idea. That cuts out the paper and the images from the stamp set. I think that looks good. Maybe we'll put a little on our little toadstool. Did anyone find the answer to what's the difference between a mushroom and a toadstool other than the size? And other than gnomes live in toadstools? There we go. I'm going to move all of this out. Isn't it cute, Valerie? I like it too. So we got our own little woodland scene here. Isn't that cute? Now I noticed that Ange did something on her live yesterday. And I'm going to do the same thing because she's good. We are still taking reservations for the launch party. We're entering the kind of will it get there in time mode, but that's okay. If you sign up, we'll do our very best to get you. We'll get you the kit in time, but whether you'll get your supplies from Stampin' Up! In time, we'll see. But here's a couple of cards I wanted to show you. You can also build the gnome with the dies. So you can cut out a gnome like we did today, like this card, or you can create your little gnome with all the die cut pieces. That's really cute. Yesterday, so that's the Kindest Gnomes. And then yesterday I made a shaker card using the Christmas Scotty Dogs, and that's a class that we're offering, right? Cute. And then the main deal is the Sweetest Christmas. And these are some of the cards created with that. Not from the class, just some ideas. Now the class. Where did I put those? I thought I'm going to do what Ange did because she's good and she's sneaky. She brought in parts of the card to tempt you. So I'm going to see how this looks. I'm going to try. So here we go. Ooh, what could this be? She went like this. She went like this. Ooh, what could that be? Okay. So we don't want to give away the cards, but we want to show you kind of what's coming. Here's another one. Ooh, what's coming? She's sneakier than me. She can do it better than I can. Ooh. And then lastly, we've got some gnomes in the grass. Oh, yeah. So that gives you a sneak peek. Ha, sort of. Let's remind you what the Sweetest Christmas class comes with. Comes with half a pack of the Designer Series paper. So you're going to get equivalent of 6 sheets of 12 by 12. You're going to get a full package of, what are these called again? Adhesive back seasonal sequins. Okay, you get a full pack of that. And you're going to get both rolls of the ribbon. So garden green and real red. You're going to get the instructions for 6 cards and the PDF, and then you're going to join us and stamp together. Now, people have been asking me, do I need to get the stamps and die bundles? So that's one of the bundles, Christmas banners, and the other one is sweet candy canes. So the answer is no, but you are going to need something that you can substitute. So some Christmas words and maybe some, ferns or something that you have from another stamp set. That would work. If you buy either one of these bundles, you're going to get a whole pack of Designer Series paper instead of a half pack. So that's just something to consider. And then why don't I show you, again, just a kind of a sneak peek. Here we go. Ooh, could it be candy canes? Ooh, yeah, could be. And how about, some sparkly and some more candy canes. Ooh, yeah. And then how about just a nice traditional Christmas card? Okay, so that's your sneak peek. That's how Ange did it. And I thought it was quite fun. So, you love wuss. What? Oh, I do. Is that what we're calling it now, Janet? Winkastella is wuss. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to call it that from now on. I do love Winkastella. It's my favorite thing. It's like that commercial with that old lady and she's like hot sauce. I put that on everything. That's kind of what I'm like with Winkastella. Okay, so that's our card that we made today. Here we go. And then we had the debate over whether we should use the deer or the gnome. And so that's the card with the deer instead of the gnome. Okay, so they're both cute. Okay, I don't know which one I like better. I think I like the gnome because I think I was able to then put the words here and I like the words there better and I ran out of room on that one. So I think that's my favorite for that one. All righty. So let's go over here. Here we go. What else? It is adorable. It's so adorable and so easy to make. How that didn't take us very long. Now I had cut out some stuff ahead of time, obviously fussy cut. But if you're just sitting, you know, kind of having something in the background, you can easily cut out those images, right? Mushroom. Thank you, Keisha. I knew you'd do it. A fungal growth that typically takes the form of a dome cap on a stalk with gills on the underside. Toadstool. The spore-bearing fruity body of a fungus typically in the form of a rounded cap on a stalk, especially one that is believed to be inedible or poisonous. I thought they were the same too. I thought one was just kind of bigger. So that's interesting. Thank you, Keisha. I knew you would look it up for me. So thank you so much. Let's see what else. Any other questions? Yeah, the gnome's super cute, Diane. You should come to our class. It's super cute. And with the class, you're going to get the stamps. So the class, if you're taking it as a class, is $50, but you get the stamps, and then you can. We're giving a skookum deal on adding on the dies, and we're going to make 4 cards together, and yeah, it's lots of fun. So I think that's all for today. So when am I going to see you next? I'm going to see you next on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. All right. So don't forget next week, now Tuesday night, Ange will be here on her North Shore Stamper group. She'll be showing you a card using some of the products from our launch, and I'll be back on Thursday for that. And what else? Oh, don't forget this month for my Border Buddies with Patsy Wagner, our Border Buddy bundle is the trees for sale. So when you make an order in my store or in her store if you live in the United States, you will receive a free PDF of 6 cards for 6 instructions. So our instructions for 6 cards, so that'd be good. And I also offer that as a class, so 4 cards in a class. So have a checkout of that. My links are always here when I do a live, so check out all my links. Alrighty, so we'll see you on Sunday. Until then, please have a very, very creative time, and I hope you get some stamping done. Happy stamping. Bye for now. Thanks for coming.